Power Active, a podcast started to empower women to find their own active adventure. I'm your host, Jacalyn Gross. Today, we are in 2026 and we're going to talk about it. Um, there's a lot of things that are linked to New Year's that are healthy, and some things that are not healthy that we do as a culture. And I don't necessarily think like the New Year, New You thing, like no, we're not doing that. But what I am saying is that the new year is kind of a nice time to like think about things and recalibrate. And it's also like just a time to do it. Like you can do it right now. But it's not the end all be all. So if you are working towards a goal and it's in the middle of the year or at a time that is not the start of a month, day, or week, that's okay. You can make a change at any time. So that's what I keep thinking about. That being said, I will say there are some things that you could create a goal around for a year period, and the beginning of the year is an okay time to start it. And I think oftentimes when we are setting these goals for ourselves, we have to consider the fact that a little bit is okay. And we have to set, I think this was said by one of our guests, but set the bar really low. Set it to something that you can hit without even trying, so that even though you know that you could do it, it's very attainable for yourself and make it something that you can actually easily accomplish. So that being said, I guess I'll go ahead and like say the things that I'm working on. I would love to hear from you as well, like what you're working towards, and then I'll have some other requests later on in the podcast as well. Because I want to list out some goals I have for the podcast itself. So one thing I said in 2025 was this is going to be the year of mobility. 2025 has passed. It is now 2026. And did I do a lot of mobility? No. So I am trying to make goals for myself that are attainable. So I am going to work on mobility this year. I already started. I've been starting into the lead up to the year. Like I said, it doesn't have to be the start of a year to start a goal, but I really want to work on mobility because I have some limited mobility in my ankles and my hips. And I think that, I mean, a lot of it's due to running for many years, but I think also that more mobility will be feel better as far as movement goes. Because I will say, like, my body sometimes does not feel great. Just like my knees are a little tight and my ankles are a little tight. And so it don't really feel it on my runs necessarily, but I'm walking around or if I'm sitting for a long period of time, like it definitely is not pleasant. And these are like normal aches and pains, like they're fine, but I think that I could improve that. And so I've signed up for yoga. Um, I've done like a monthly unlimited class here in Everett, and I've started going. I kind of signed up for the unlimited because I wanted to make sure that I do them, and if I'm paying for them, I will feel a little more enticed to actually go. So I have been doing that. So far, it's been great. I am not great at yoga, and I think that's a key important point because, like, sometimes it's not super validating to go do something that you're not great at, but and it's not like you can be like well, you can be super good at yoga, but like I think doing yoga in terms of like how good, you know, good you are. There's not really, you're not supposed to be comparing yourself in yoga. I just mean like I have a hard time of like getting there, not thinking about 20 other things, breathing through the exercises, all of that. Like that's really hard for me. So I am working on being present, which is a great thing to work on. Also working on my flexibility and mobility in the class. It's like going to yoga makes me feel like, okay, I'm signed up to stretch for a certain period of time, and I have to do it because I'm in that class. And so that has gotten me some extra incentive to continue to do that. Another thing that I'm working on is core strength. So, because of my appendix rupturing and me not really doing any core for a really long time and not really climbing lately, my core strength is definitely not there. So, I've been doing more core exercises and I started like lightly climbing again. Um, the reason I haven't been climbing a ton is because I'm having some Achilles tendinosis or tendinopathy. Um, and I've been really feeling it more so when I climb. So I've been trying to not do that, but I really miss it and I want to not completely lose all of my strength. So I'm trying to figure out some like good exercises for my Achilles and strengthening them, and then also hopefully be able to climb or at least do like hangboard exercises. So that's another thing that I've been working on. And then I guess the third thing would be I'm trying to get in the weight room. And so I've been trying to think about lifting in terms of like what I need for my body. So like really being more in tune with what my body needs. And then creating structure within that idea because I have a hard time if I don't have a set workout to do, then I'll just start doing everything. And so I don't want my lifting to turn into like this 2 hour session. I would like to still keep it around 20, 30 minutes, like maybe 2 times a week, and then lift only what I would like to lift. So actually bringing back some old classics. Um, my coach recently shared workouts that we did when we were in college, and it's still like really good stuff. Like going back to it, I was like, yeah, these are some core exercises that I should be doing anyways. So that was like, it also feels like very comfortable because that's what I had done. I have like sort of remembered them, but not all the way. But it's funny how much your body remembers these different activities. So, I've been bringing those lifts back from when I was in college, running competitively, and then, but I just started like the last 2 weeks to do those. And my whole point on this timed weightlifting thing was I want to provide structure to myself while still being able to do what I want to be doing, like the lifts I want to be doing, but not so much so that I would be lifting for like 2 hours because that could happen with me. So, I think that this new style lifting where I lift what I want to lift for a certain time period is going to be really helpful so that if I find new exercises I would like to try or I think would add in, kind of help with that mobility, help with that strength, that core strength, or something else that I find that would be like injury prevention type workouts, I can put those in there and I can also, take them out if they don't work for me. So that's what I'm working on. I'm like working on this new lifting style and um, the other thing that I'm working on is I would like to hit mobility really hard because, okay, so I've been really paying attention to these other mobility coaches as well. Like there's a lot of mobility um movements out there. Like I just think they're really cool and I want to be able to move my body in like different ways, not just running. And so I've been really, I mean, yes, like that's all part of yoga and it's part of lifting and being stronger. But the mobility aspect of this is like there's just so many things that you can do and ways that you can move your body and move like hopefully pain free. Um, and that is something that I really want to focus on for 2026 because I think there's like I guess I'm talking about like like when wrestlers like do like that toe walk thing. I have like really stiff ankles and I have really stiff toes and like to do that is like near impossible for me. Or so I want to like work on stuff like that, crawls and things like that. Like maybe get into jujitsu, and be strong on the ground and be able to move around because I just feel like that mobility piece of exercise has like really been missing. And then I feel like when I'm walking around or doing something and I'm I feel like going back to that example of toe walks, like that would really hurt me if I tried to do that. Like that would hurt like a lot. So it's like I just am being very limited and like I don't like the idea of being limited by my body. I want to be able to do these things. So I know if I don't start doing them that I will just like not be able to do them at all. Just learning from yoga instructors. Like if you don't is it true? Sorry, it just made me think of the 40-year-old virgin. Like, is it true if you don't use it, you lose it? But like in that way, it's kind of like, yes, it is true that if you don't utilize and like move your body in these certain ways, that it gets harder and harder to do that. And so as I'm approaching 40 and like trying to figure out like how I am going to keep myself healthy, I've been really focusing on these mobility things. So that is another goal and a focus of mine. I'm really excited about it, especially like the jujitsu. I would like to try that because I also would like to know how to do that. Like I want to be able to run and feel safe anywhere that I go. And so like I think that would be a really good skill to have to be able to do that on my own. And also it would be a bit of a oh, wait. It would be a bit of a comfort zone thing too, because I feel like I would be very much outside of my comfort zone. I have done boxing before, but jujitsu is much different, and I think it would be something else that I would like to be good at. And um, yeah, just like there's so many cool activities to do, and I want to be able to continually be able to move my body in the ways that would allow me to do all of these cool things. So that being said, that's kind of my I guess my last thing that I'm not like really working on for 2026 or in general. Um, but that I would like to do would probably be I would like to race. So I would like to put myself in a 50K for 2026? Question mark. I feel so far away from being ready to do that, but I would love to get to the point where I could get in a race, feel confident, have been doing workouts. Like I have not been able to do any workouts. I'm still growing in mileage. I feel very out of shape. I'm slowly getting back into shape, but I just feel not fit, and it's been very, to be honest, it's been very difficult. So, I feel like I was at the point of being kind of like the most out of shape I've been in a very long time. Um, I mean, most of that having to do with the whole appendix rupture thing. It's been a long time of like coming back to it, and then like it will go well, or I'll start training and then I'll get injured. So it's kind of been an uphill battle with that. Um, so anyways, let me know what everybody else is working on. I'd be really interested to hear. If you have any mobility tips or other things that you are thinking to try this year, please share them with me. And again, new goals don't have to start at the beginning of a year, but they can. And you can reevaluate and think of things that you might have been doing that are not great and maybe stop doing, and then also think about things that you could improve on. So, yes, if you're working on things this year, and it doesn't have to be year specific, if just the things that you're working on right now, please share them below. I'd love to hear about it. Um, Things that you're letting go or things you want to improve or anything really. Just let me know. I would love to hear about your athletic adventures. And then my other goal or goals this year for the podcast is they're kind of talking about all those cool activities. There's so many cool sports out there, and there's so many different things. This year brings like all new opportunities to interview different women and hear their stories. Speaking of all the cool activities there are out there, there's like some like really diverse and different and uh, different sports and activities that I have never heard of before that I'm learning about. And I'm really excited to get women on there to share their stories about how they got into these activities. So I look forward to sharing that with you for the year. If you have any recommendations of somebody you think would be a great fit for the podcast, please let me know. Don't be afraid to share. I would love to interview them. Women in Power Active at gmail.com. Just reach out. So, my words of empowerment for this episode are if you started working on a goal and for some reason you kind of fell off, restart. Don't have any negative feeling. Like, don't put that negative spin on it in your head, like how you are so bad because you didn't do it. Like, just try to restart the goal without any of that baggage along with it. And also, you can restart at any time. Don't feel pressured to start at the beginning of the year, start at the beginning of the month, in 2 weeks. You could start in the middle of Thursday. Like, whenever you want to start your goal, you can restart it. And don't put any extra negative self-talk in when you aren't able to accomplish it, because you can restart it at any time and you can do this, whatever it is. All right, that's all I have for you today. If you have any goals you're working on, please share. And yeah, if there's anybody that you think would be a great fit for the podcast, please email me at womeninpoweractive@gmail.com. Our plugs have changed a bit. If you want to follow me personally, that's at Jacalyn Gross, JACALYNGROSS. If you're listening to this and you want to watch the video version, you can go to at Women in Power Active on YouTube and subscribe. Both the audio and video version of this podcast was produced by Jeremy Canaria and edited by me. Thank you so much for listening. I can't wait to hear the stories coming up and share them with you.